Holy cow.
And it had all kinds of little issues. Looks really good, though.
This seems to be something, though, that's like has constantly been a problem for game companies. Is it just a resources thing? I mean, you're in that sort of world. So is it just that they're not dedicating enough resources? Somebody's like,
I mean, this is an epic sort of game.
Right.
I mean, the thing is this is an epic. Am I red or? I'm red. Okay, good. Missed it. Hold on, sorry. I was talking and I was shooting. So I think this is an epic game because they're remastering and redoing all of their games, and they probably and to a certain degree it's just a bunch of fanfare for the next version coming out. Who's behind me and where they're shooting? I'm sucking. I can't talk and play at the same time. This has been a horrible mistake.
That's the challenge.
But I think there's basically like a whole app wrapped around all the individual games. So the games themselves play really nicely and are well remastered, but it's all the interface stuff that's in between that's not the priority, honestly.
Right.
Like the priority is the video game playing. So, they wanted to release it on a timeline so they could get it out before 5, and they wanted to make it as good as possible. And they had like large initiatives like a TV show for it and everything.
Yep.
Crap, I keep on using friggin'...
You're using the different game
I'm using
controls.
Call of Duty, trying to bust somebody in the face versus hitting the right button.
I think there's a custom setting that you can change.
I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to learn it while we're doing this. Thank you, though.
Learn as we go.
Missed it.
Games are all about learning. This is a learning game, really. Like Far Cry 4. It's
I'm so glad I'm not playing under my hand for this.
Yeah, you learn how to distract a bear.
Yeah. So I think that's the challenge that they probably face with this is marketing deadlines. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of it, right?
Have marketing deadlines that you have to hit. I always tell my team of developers, I say we're dedicated to building the best software products we can within the time and budget that we're given by our clients. Those are our only limitations. If we're fitting within that, let's make it as good and as sexy as possible, and we work really hard at Gatman to do that and to give good value to our customers. So.
This public service message brought to you by Chaotic.
Yeah, there's a lot of one of the things that we try to do is talk to people about getting rid of all of the unnecessary features. We try to get everybody down to the through line of what their app needs to be, what they're trying to really get for their users, and focus on that rather than all the extraneous stuff that may be, because sometimes we'll have clients that have, why am I not responding yet? That have marketing people who are our main client who hear about something like Meerkat or Periscope and how hot they are, and they want to put that in immediately, and it doesn't make sense for your app right now. Maybe down the road if it makes sense, but let's focus on the core features of whatever your app is. Well,
I think he raised his hands and surrendered.
Yeah.
I think he was.
He was like, "Hi, I'm gonna shoot you in the face now.
There.
You're really slow.
Oh.
You're 42 and you shoot too slow."
That's right. You and I are the same age.
Yep. And yet I look younger, according to you, because of the fat that's filled in all the creases.
That's the first thing I said, I think, when I saw you.
Yeah. Well, you didn't say that. You said that I was aging better than you. Since 2006?
Was it before that?
2005.
2005, yeah.
I just walk to people. I just want to high five
Achievement
them.
unlocked.
They
Just
shoot me.
getting started.
Oh, killed 100 enemies. 4 players.
Good for you.
Yeah. That's the noob badge, right? So much jumping and shooting.
So yeah, we first met when I was a writer for the Unofficial Apple weblog. Actually, I think I was lead blogger by that time.
I think you were, yeah.
And you were a commenter.
That's right.
He used to comment on the site all the time.
A heckler or a comment?
No, he was a commenter. I was a heckler and I was the lead blogger, so. And we actually, kind of, I think we were talking to you about maybe blogging for the Unofficial Apple Weblog, but we didn't do that yet, and we got you running Download Squad.
That's right,
We
yeah.
brought Judith Meskel and myself talked to you and brought you in, and you started doing Download Squad, which is a great site that got killed like all the other great sites.
That site actually predates TechCrunch. It predates a bunch of sites that are still funded, shall we say.
Yeah. And then eventually I left to run Netscape for Jason at AOL. I was the managing editor for it when we were trying to make it it was basically like a revamped version. It was like Dig, except with we had actual paid news editors who were helping us like write extra information on top of the stories that were being voted up by the community. The strength and weakness of it was we inherited the Netscape.com community, which was a bunch of very polarized political individuals. So a lot of our stuff ended up not being what we were expecting in terms of techie type, dig type interesting stuff, but a bunch of interesting politics stuff and a bunch of, anti and pro truther movement stuff, because this is all post 9/11. And it was challenging. It was interesting. It was a fun ride, but then we left doing that. But we also had a Netscape video function too. So
If you could pass that on to them. We're getting calls, so we got a bunch of people in the chat right now, and we want to make sure that we're showing as much video game as possible.
I can
Since
actually
this is a
hurt
video
my
game channel.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking so much.
Technically, no, it's fine. You can talk over it. We can
I'm
still
just
hear
gonna
you as you
grunt from
talk.
now on and try to kill a pig.
Most Twitchers, it's weird because this was the thing that took me aback when I watched Twitch for the first time, because I've been used to watching Let's Play videos for a while, but then I watched Twitch and people actually put themselves on the screen. So they've got like a little, and some of them have green screens, which is what really surprised me, was that it's just like them in a chair floating above the screen. And I thought it would be distracting, but it's not that bad.
I keep on forgetting I have a map that tells me
and
where
for those
it
of
is.
you in the stream right now, this is the first time that we've actually done this, and I got to hand it to the team here, because they did a great job coming in at the last minute and setting this up. The way I had it running was actually off of a Windows 7 PC and my Mac for the audio and like all kinds of wackiness. But these guys are pros, so they're doing the real thing.
Where are they?
And they've got Pro Tools. That helps to have something like Wirecast Pro.
That guy just spanked me. What was his name? Must kill whoever that was.
The money team. It's funny though, because this kind of reminds me just a little bit of Evolve. Have you played any Evolve yet?
I have not played Evolve. I've been dying to. I was actually going to say, like, when the main thing that I love using Twitch for, because like I have 2 kids and it's hard to like watch a bunch of video games all the time. But what I like using Twitch for is if there's a game that I'm interested in buying and I'm not sure if I want to get it yet, I watch several different people playing it on Twitch and I try to figure out, is this God, how different would my life be now if this existed and YouTube existed and everything when I was a kid?
I can't imagine.
I would have tried to be a rock star for a long time with the guitar thing, and I would have tried to go into professional e-gaming.
You could have done Song a Day.
Yeah.
You could have done a song about the iPhone.
Anyway.
It is pretty remarkable. I mean, because my kids, they do YouTube videos. My son had a Lego stop-motion YouTube video from a couple of years ago that got like 4,000 hits.
Oh, cool.
It was insane.
Should we switch this up, or should we just keep on killing
You
things?
can. If you want to switch it up, you could play some of the story if you wanted to.
What does everybody online want? Do you guys want us to...
What do you guys want to see? We got a few viewers right now.
Do you want to see story, or do you want us to play another...
I was letting people vote. I don't know if anybody watched my stream from the other night, but it was very creepy and weird, where I had 3 puppets and I was playing Cards Against Humanity. Actually, the puppets were playing. Yeah, they were actual Muppet puppets.
Muppet puppet.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to play 3 characters at once.
Oh.
But that's because nobody was around that night. Usually on Saturday we have like a group of people come over and play. But we had a big music festival this past weekend.
Yeah.
And so everybody was doing that, and we have No, everybody's being quiet. Either everybody's being quiet in the chat, or my chat has died again, which happens. One of the funniest things is that Twitch is still technically very rough as a platform. But it's funny that you mentioned the thing about looking at games that you might want to buy.
Yeah.
Because I think that's pretty obvious why Amazon bought them.
Right. That's why I did that with Shadows of Mordor, whatever the Lord of the Rings game, because I saw that it was all based on the Batman Arkham engine, the same sort of thing, and I didn't really love, which people are going to hate me for this, but I didn't love the Batman game, like when I played it, and so I was like, will I like this? And I watched it. I'm just so I like the mix now on that, but I've hardly played it. JonTron
had a funny thing about that, which was that in Batman, in one of the Arkham, where Joker is like the roided out, like that's the final thing. That's the opposite. First of all, Batman survives on his brains.
Yeah.
And the reason Joker is basically his arch nemesis is sort of like Sherlock and Moriarty, where he's brilliant also, and a mental equal match.
And suicidal.
So, of course, the final boss, he should be completely roided out as just a brawler
like
at
Bane.
that point. Yeah.
Like, why not just have Bane? Anyway.
So this is the true fun, by the way, also of what we're doing right now. Is a lot of waiting in lobbies and whatnot.
I'm trying to find a game right now.
If you've watched any of the GTA games that we try to play online, I mean, whether it's a Monday morning, whether it's a Saturday evening, I think either way, Rockstar just like sets fire to their servers every night.
Well, this is a bigger problem, I think, for this game than most games, because this is the Master Chief Collection, and I don't think everybody's playing it. Like, a lot of people are playing Halo 4, a lot of people are playing the 5 beta, and this is like, you have to, even though they remastered it, you have to be hardcore plan to play multiplayer, like on a Halo 2 map. Just
kind of invested in it, yeah.
It's not as smooth as the newer games and everything. And I think a lot of people get it to play through the story, because the story is like, a lot of people love, especially Halo 2, the storyline. And I could give a shit about stories. I just want to kill things. It's one of the things I can't do in real life, and it frustrates me that I can't.
And I love the stories because, I mean, that was the thing about Bungie, was that they were so good with story, right? Marathon. And of course, you were a Marathon player, right?
Marathon.
And
on the Mac,
right? Yeah. Well, okay. So now about that, we were at the unofficial Apple weblog. So you originally played the first Halo on a Mac.
Yep.
Because it came out for the Mac.
I was all PC gamer up until like right before Xbox 360. Like, I think I got an Xbox. That's not true. I had PlayStations, but like as far as the Xbox side of things, like I really became console.
Yeah.
And now I'm all console, except for like Hearthstone and a few like Diablo 3
Monument Valley
or StarCraft 2.
So what are the trends in gaming right now in terms of mobile gaming? There's PC-based gaming,
right?
Console-based gaming. I mean, what are the kind of peaks and valleys of that landscape?
Oh man, well it's kind of it's
so huge.
That's the thing, is that what I've really seen is just this explosion. Indie games, for instance, just indie games alone, because you had a distribution model. Steam has taken a lot of that out of the equation.
Right.
So PC gaming hasn't really subsided. Console games, I saw someone having a conversation about this today, about how it's like PS4 or Xbox One. Doesn't really matter.
Both.
It's like,
the answer's both.
I mean, right, because they're both equally good systems essentially, and it's really just a matter of what's exclusive and your control scheme.
Although, if you're a dad like myself and Victor, and if you're a dad like me and you have 2 young kids,
in fact, that's my boy right there.
Yeah, but if you have 2 young kids who are too young to play anything other than Skylanders with you, which is what my son and I play together. If you're doing that, the PS4 has an advantage right now over the Xbox One, in that, like, I have a Sony Xperia X3, and it lets me play PS4 via Wi-Fi connection, and I have a little suction cup thing that I can put my controller on, and it Bluetooth connects to this, and I can sit there, and while my kids are watching Dora the Explorer, I'm sitting there playing Diablo 3 on the PS4, which is amazing, and the best thing ever as far as my game life balance in my personal life right now. But the cool thing is, with Windows 10 and Microsoft's new Windows 10, like, all of the Windows devices you may or may not own will do the same thing, so it won't matter anymore. It'll be like
able
a
to stream the
contact.
Xbox One to like your Surface,
Right.
and play. Yeah, that was the thing. That was one of the reasons why I got the Wii U,